If you didn't see the last episode, I'm gonna go be depressed this way. I just remembered I saw a couple people from the Intrinsic server all online at the same time, and I mentioned don't do something. Oh, it's worse than I thought. It's so much worse than I thought. Oh. If you can't tell, there was plans, we're abandoning plans. Hey guys, with all that said, this is not Greg here to talk about how to stay motivated against trying times, haha. This is fine and everything's great, and I'm not at all upset about the server I've created or the heinous crimes that are committed against me on a daily basis. Yuck. It'll be great. How to stay motivated when your friends suck. Let's have a little bit of a back and forth, okay? I'm gonna fill in the words for you though. I know my audience well, so you're probably sitting there, you're watching this video and you're asking yourself, Greg, can I call you Greg? How do you get and stay motivated? And first I would scream, because that is not in fact my name. I understand there's some confusion in the community, but my name is not Greg. When it comes to getting and staying motivated, it comes down to what is motivation. And I see motivation as this little almost mathematical equation in my head of value times chance of success. Let's break that down though. What is value? Value is how much importance we assign to a given outcome or result. And the chance of success is the likelihood we can complete a thing given the circumstances. So as a little example, outside of Minecraft, doing dishes. I hate doing dishes, but I really hate the idea of eating off of a Frisbee. So I can do dishes in the circumstances of I have soap, I have a sponge, and I have time are all fine. So I can do my dishes. And the value of not having to eat off of a Frisbee sounds amazing. So I do the dishes. And that's what motivation is motivation is what we need to get through completing the task at hand, even when we don't enjoy it. So if we're going to make this example into a Minecraft example, I need iron. I always need iron. I love my redstone devices. I need iron. So I value self-reliance. I do go over to Ets. Ets is giving me permission to go over and get his iron that he no longer really needs because he has such an abundance. But I also value self-reliance. So I can either go and mine for X amount of time, however often I need more iron, or I can build an iron farm or 85. And that's easy for me to do. I love redstone. So here's the thing. The value is the same. Self-reliance in getting myself iron. The need is still present of I have a lack of iron, but the chance of success for me is higher with the iron farm than mining because I know how to build an iron farm and then it works on its own. And I don't like to go grinding. So I'm going to choose to make an iron farm because that has a higher chance of success. And thus I have more motivation to do that than go, I guess I'll go mining for an hour. So the application to stay motivated, look at what your values are. Do you actually want this or not? You might think you want something, but then realize you want what might come from it, I guess is another way to put it. If I did not know of an iron farm, my hatred of grinding might outweigh my desire to have iron, and I might go, actually, I don't need that many hoppers. Maybe I can do this a different way. But your value could also be along the sides of maybe it's not competing with your chance of success or your things you have disdain for. It might just simply be you don't actually value that. I have started multiple mega-based projects that I've never finished, and the reason is I value putting out good YouTube content, not making the mega base. So if I can make good YouTube content a different way, or if instead of mining for iron, I can build an iron farm, why would I be building a mega base? I thought my value was there. I thought I really wanted to do that, and I just could never do it. I had tried 3 different times. I never succeeded, and that is why. If you're going to increase your motivation, you need to look at either your value or your chance of success. And I'm going to be honest, changing your value, first off, is probably not the best thing to do most of the time because you're just wired the way you are, and that's fine. I'm glad you're wired the way you are, unless you call me Greg. Then you need to cut that out. I swear, you need to learn that my name is not Greg. But changing your chance of success is a lot better because there's a lot of things to look at because chance of success is within the given circumstances of a task. I can do dishes. I cannot do my dishes, though, in 2 minutes. If I have to leave for work and I have 2 minutes, me looking at the sink tells me I can't get that done. Maybe I can get started, but I'm not going to get all of it done there. So my motivation to get all my dishes done right there is none, because I know I can't do it. I'm not sitting there trying to jump over Mount Everest just because I think if I try a little bit, there's no motivation to do that because I know I can't do that. But if you're able to change any of your chance of success, whether it's a limit, like, oh, I have a week to build this thing because I think if I do a week here, and then I'll have this awesome, it's okay if it takes a month. Because if you don't have the motivation, you're putting it off and you're feeling burnt out and like you can't do it, guess what? Having a month to do it instead of the week you gave yourself is going to get you there faster. Or it's from a scale point too. So often we look at something and we feel overwhelmed. By the way, this is a rare moment where I'm recording. I have both cats in my lap. This is a happy moment for me. I have a build on this server that I am the most proud of. And you might think it's this castle on a hill build that all of you have seemed to show up and really love and support. But actually, I really love the town hall. It's this really tall build that looks like it's almost 4 houses attached to a tower. And the reason why it looks like that is because that's what it is. I wanted to build something that was really eye-catching, super detailed, and super complicated. And I couldn't figure out how to do that. And I'm going to be honest, if someone told me to go build that, I would not have the motivation to do that. Because I don't believe I have the talent to do that. I am lacking at the chance of success. What I did, though, was say, hey, I'm going to take 5 different builds and just kind of put some Elmer's glue in between it and just stick it together really, really good. And then try to keep any kids from licking up the leftover glue or snorting it or whatever kids do nowadays. And so the way I did that is, if you look at it, there's 2 peaked roofs, a tower, a roof that's like a barn shape, and then there's like a little slant. That's just 5 different houses that I put all next to each other and then just remove the interior walls, basically, is all I did there. That's all it is. If you're able to take the project you're working on and break it down into smaller pieces and then tackle it one by one, you might find you have more motivation to do it. That's why people love checklists. You're able to just, making a checklist is at the top of my checklist so I can cross something off my checklist. Like, it feels good to do that. And I'm going to be honest, on that build, it's super detailed. By far, the most complicated piece of detailing I did on that actually was on the barn side. There's a little circle design. And the reason why it's the most complicated is everything else on that build, I broke down the segments to, I believe the largest segment on the entire build is like a 4x5 area. It's 20 blocks. Like that's the largest section on the build. Everything else I framed out with logs to make it so that huge wall is smaller and a lot less imposing, and it got a lot easier. If you're struggling with motivation, look at changing your circumstances. If you can, you got this. Okay, look, I'm going to drop the whole I'm not Greg from the internet, and I'm just going to be the good old wholesome chaotic version of Bob Ross for you. I love talking about motivation. I also love most of the things that have to do with figuring out and living life, because life is insane and crazy. So if you guys want more advice videos like this, let me know what the topic is, okay? I have been around the block a couple times in my 4,000 years of life. As an elder eldritch being, I know a couple things, and I'd love to be able to share it with you guys. And like on stream, like Twitch streams, there's a lot of people that called me like father or dad. And it's because I give dad advice. Like it just feels like dad advice. And I love to be able to teach. I teach kids as a day job. So it's never going to bother me if you guys need advice. It can either be a talkie episode on YouTube. It might just be a response in the comments to be able to help out someone, okay? Hi, welcome to YouTube. I made a community or something, okay? I don't know what to do. Back to being not Greg from the internet. I don't know, like your mother or something. I have awful news. That is 36. That is 37. This is based supposedly off this beacon. And I got the measurements from the XYZ coordinate of there and there. So if I built the entire thing wrong, we're gonna find out what a lack of motivation is today.